Hi, I'm Mara, President from JEF Munich, and we're meeting today Julia, President from JEF Vienna. And first of all, thanks for participating. And how are you, or how do you deal with the situation in your country or region?
Hey Mara, thank you for meeting me today. Overall, I'm quite good. Right now, the situation in Austria already looks way better than before. Like in March, it kind of started in Austria and it was like lockdown was quite hard. So we were not allowed to go out, only for shopping or like for walks and some things like that. And like restrictions were hard. But now things are like getting looser, like things are getting better in this way. And we can like shops open, even large shops open since this week, and schools are opening again for some students. So for example, for last year's students, so it's going quite well by now, so it's going back to normality.
That are great news. And like, what are the preoccupations of the people in your country, even if it's getting like better or back to the normal? Are there worries and preoccupations?
I think, of course, like people are, of course, worried now that everything is like getting back to normality and things are opening up again. Of course, people are worried that like Corona is coming back and there will be a second wave. But so far it's looking good. Like this important R number is under 0. So overall, so far, so good, I would say.
Okay, and do still the people or you have any wishes or expectations of Europe? Like even if the situation is better, like can you imagine a special expectation or a wish?
Well, yes. I mean, of course, on one hand, I would wish that I think there was like from government side and also from European side, of course, in such a crisis, not all was managed well, especially on European side. I think there is much to learn. So I hope governments and also the European Union is learning from this situation and is ensuring that pandemic crisis management is like ensured for the future, and that there are more stricter guidelines and like that the management just gets better. And on the other hand, yes, as well, of course, like this whole, like I really hope that borders within Europe are opening again, because I think that's super important for the European Union and that trade goes back to normal. And yeah, I think there are many hopes towards the European Union.
Yeah, you already mentioned it's like
improvement.
Thinking of the measures like closing borders or inhibiting inter-European trade. What kind of future do you predict for the European Union after this crisis?
Well, I think at this point it's still very, very, very hard to assess, because we're still in the middle. Like, although it's getting better now in Austria, like for many countries, it's still in the middle of the crisis. So I think at the moment, most countries, well, not sure whether it's positive, but most countries are thinking more about themselves and their people. And I think it's also very, from many countries, I feel it's a very egoistic behavior in a way, because I mean, you saw that, like, for example, healthcare supply was not allowed to cross borders, and like borders were super fast closed. And like, I think this should not be a reaction of a solidar Europe, which, well, we're all working towards. So of course, I think what would be my hope is the borders open up again and the trade works again in Europe.
Yes.
I think these are very important points. But of course, Corona measures are important, and it's important to take care, of course. But yeah, let's hope.
Yeah, I'm hoping it too. But like you already mentioned it, that the solidarity wasn't as good in Europe as we maybe expected it to be. But so you aren't satisfied, or you weren't, for your case, satisfied with the solidarity in Europe? Do you think the European Union could have done more, like more efforts, or?
Again, like it's hard. Yes, I think Europe for sure could have done more and could have better manage this situation. But then, of course, it's as well hard to say, because this whole healthcare management and organization is within countries' responsibility in this way. So in these terms, of course, it would be hard from a European side, but when it comes to border, when it comes to healthcare service persons, healthcare employees, healthcare supply crossing the borders, like that could have been done way better, I believe. So in this way, I won't say that I'm satisfied. I just hope that the European Union is also learning from this case, such as, for example, the WHO learned from what happened with Ebola back then. I hope European Union is now learning what happened with COVID and is managing it better in the next time.
Yes, so you see a chance that something good will derive out of this crisis afterwards for the European Union?
Definitely. Like, I'm working in technology company, so definitely on one hand I see that like the importance of digitization definitely grew. Like, no matter whether it's at universities, where there are online classes, at schools, at like in healthcare, where they realized that like healthcare management could be done better with digitization. Yeah, so I think, and of course also as well at work, in most workplaces, like home office and everything. So on one hand I see digitization, on the other hand I think overall like the importance of a good healthcare system for society is like became super evident, like what we can see currently in the US compared to how it is handled in Europe and in other countries. Like I think it became like an importance of a good healthcare system. Yeah, it became very obvious, I believe.
Yeah, thanks. I totally agree. Like, it's so important to have a good health system, because if not, you're just fucked up, as you can see with the crisis. And so, yeah, it's quite problematic, but it's great to hear that Austria is getting better and getting back to normality. Like, we are quite, I would say, following your path. Like, we are also like reopening some stores and all these kind of things. So we are getting also back to normal, but it's quite a way, I would say. So we'll hope the best, and thanks for participating again. It was nice to meet you, but have a nice day, and we'll stay in touch. Stay healthy, stay European, and
thank you. Bye.